Earlier this year, my boiler broke down and it was in the middle of January. It was freezing cold, no hot water, no heating. So I called the boiler guy. And the first one I found online, he had 5-star reviews, he had a beautiful website, and he said he could come out next Thursday. And that was like a week away. And it was in January, and no heating in England in January is not fun. So I called another one, and a pal had sent me his number, and he didn't have a website or social media, but he answered on the second ring, and he was like, I'll be there in 2 hours. And he turned up after 90 minutes, he fixed the boiler, he explained what was wrong, and he told me what to watch out for in future. He is now my boiler guy. And like my friend did to me, I've recommended him to everyone I know. And that right there is exactly what your clients want from you as a 3D artist. So today I thought it'd be useful to break down what clients actually want from 3D artists, because after 18 years of working with architectural firms, brand and yacht builders, I can tell you it is nothing like what most 3D artists think. So there's a massive disconnect between what 3D artists think the client wants and what clients actually want. So what artists think clients want? The most photorealistic render possible, the latest software and render engine technology, complex technical solutions and artistic flair. And I know we are technical creatives and we're obsessed with the technical stuff, but the people we serve are not. And look at it like this, people don't go out for dinner just for the food. You can make food at home, and you can make good food at home as well. People go out for the experience, for the welcome, for the waiter, for sitting there in a nice environment and knowing that they're gonna get served on time. I had to learn this the hard way. This is before we had YouTube or communities. And early on in my career, I spent so much time and energy making renders technically perfect and spending hours on things that no client would ever notice. And then I went on to deliver renders late with no communication during the process. And I just sent a vague email saying, here it is, let me know what you think. I couldn't understand why clients weren't coming back. So in my experience, there are 4 things that clients actually buy when they hire a 3D artist. Certainty. This is a big one. When a client hires you, it's going to feel like they're taking a risk and they're handing over their money before they see the results, and that is scary for anyone. It's especially scary if you've dealt with mediocre 3D artists before who disappeared mid-project, or they just delivered something completely different to what was discussed. So always try and reduce that risk through a clear process, a professional proposal, a portfolio that proves I've done this type of work before, testimonials and case studies from similar clients, and showing a timeline of exactly what's going to happen and when. I want every touch point, even before, during and after, to communicate you are in safe hands. Speed, and I'm not just talking about fast delivery, I'm talking about responsiveness. So always try and respond quickly to initial inquiries. Like when I ask for quotes and it takes like a week to get them, my enthusiasm has died. And the speed is really important to capitalize on while the buying intent is high, while you are fresh in their mind. I don't mean just make up a number and send it within 5 minutes, but this early communication sets the tone for the whole project. And if it takes you days to reply to an inquiry, imagine when we're live and I've got an issue, are you gonna still take days to reply to me then? And I used to be terrible at this. I'd see an inquiry come in and I'd be like, yes. And then I'd think, I'll respond tomorrow when I have time to craft a proper reply. But by tomorrow, the client's already found someone else. And this is why you want to templatize it. We have all this good stuff in Future-Proof 3D Artist. There's a link in the description. You can even respond, I got your message. I'll send you a detailed response by the end of the day. And that acknowledgement is going to put you ahead of a lot of other 3D artists. And then during the project, speed means being proactive with updates. Don't just wait for the client to chase you. Send them work in progress shots before they ask. Tell them where you're at before they begin to wonder. Every time someone's got to chase me for an update, their confidence drops. Communication. I used to think that the difference between professionals and amateurs was the work. And I really feel like communication is up there in distinguishing professionals and amateurs. So good communication means setting expectations before the project starts. How many revisions rounds are included? What does the timeline look like? What do I need from them and by when? Flagging any early problems. If something's going to be late, tell them immediately. Don't wait until the deadline's passed. Honesty actually builds trust. And I really think even if the output is world class and the experience was hell to get there, I'd definitely be looking for a better route. The portfolio. I used to think, yeah, this is all well and good, but I've got to make my portfolio before I think about any of this. And I was kind of right. The quality of the portfolio matters, but I thought that the portfolio alone would get me hired. So I spent like 90% of my time perfecting it, and then I had like 10% for everything else. And the portfolio only gets you through the door, and it might get the client to respond to you. It might get them on a call, and it creates this initial interest. But everything after that call, the proposal, the onboarding, and basically the whole delivery experience, that's actually what closes the deal and keeps them coming back. So surely that deserves more than 10% of your time. Your portfolio is just the shop window, but when people are inside, that experience is why people buy. And I know we talk a lot about portfolios and outreach on this channel, but really the goal is to establish yourself with enough clients that you don't need to keep doing it. So there are a few things I've done over the last 18 years, and I feel like some of these are small, but they add up. So the heads up email. Before we even start the project, I send a client a simple email outlining exactly what's going to happen. It outlines the timeline, when they're going to see the first draft, what I need from them and when, and how revisions work. It takes like 5 minutes to write, but that outline gives everyone clarity. And if you're smart, you already have it as a template. The mid-project check-in, like halfway through, I send work in progress. Here's where we're at. Here's what we got left to do. We're on track for delivery on the deadline day. And I really feel like this mid-project check-in will save so many problems instead of just hitting and hope on deadline day. It catches any misalignment early before it becomes a massive disaster. And sweet, we delivered the project, all done, right? This is like the secret weapon, the post-project follow-up. A couple of weeks after delivery, I send them a quick message and I say, how did the visuals perform? Did the launch go well? Is there anything else you need? Nobody does it, and it's like the single best way to show you care. It will keep you top of mind so they work with you again, and it's also going to encourage referrals. So all of the stuff we just spoke about, these aren't technical skills. None of them require you to get better at rendering. They're just human skills, and when you look at them, they're not groundbreaking, but they're the reason why clients come back. All right, so how can we actually start applying some of this today? Like if we look at it, it's just shifting from competing on technical skills to competing on things that clients actually care about, but half your competition is ignoring it. So you probably heard me say 1,000 times now, but just make sure your portfolio is built around outcomes, not processes. So don't say, I use Blender and Corona to create photorealistic architectural visualizations. Say, I help property developers sell out faster through 3D visualization. That first sentence is about you. The second sentence is about them. And then get testimonials that mention the experience and not just the output. Jake delivered amazing renders is a decent testimonial. Jake made the whole process seamless. He communicated clearly, delivered on time, and his visuals helped us sell units before construction started. That is a killer testimonial. So I found an easy way to do this is just give them an example and say something like this would be great. People are busy, they don't want to spend brain power writing you a testimonial. If you show them one and they just have to sign it off or tweak it, then happy days. That's how you get a killer testimonial. And then in your post-work follow-up, ask them for feedback and say something like, I'm always looking to improve and I'd love any feedback on what went well and what didn't so we can keep improving every time we work together. And the thing is, if you just watch this and you don't take any action, you've just wasted your time. So one thing you could do right now is just look at your past free clients interactions. And I'm not talking about the renders you delivered, but I'm talking about the emails, the calls, the proposals, the timelines, and ask yourself honestly, did I respond quickly? Did I set clear expectations? Did I communicate proactively during the project? Did I make the client feel safe and certain? And did I follow up after delivery? And if you answered no to any of them, then that is an area that you can look at improving. This is going to make a lot more difference to your income than any software update will. If you want to build these skills with frameworks and templates alongside 5 mentors and a community of 3D artists who hold each other accountable, then check out Future Proof 3D Artists. It's a 12-week accelerator. It's not a software course. It's focused on everything we spoke about today and more. You can book a call with me. There is a link in the description. And if you're not ready for that yet, then check out the free school community. There's over 1,800 3D artists sharing what's actually working for them with their clients, not just looking good on ArtStation. So again, the link is in the description. And be the boiler guy that turns up in 90 minutes and fixes the problems. I'll see you next week.